Well, hello, and welcome back. That's right, we're still here. It's Live Better, brought to you by Wave.video. We're excited to be here with you today on Live Better, where we teach you all the tips, tricks, techniques to take your live stream show to the next level, or to just help you get started. And the best part is, we're here to learn together how to live better. That's right, we bring in guests from all over the world who are experts in different aspects of live streaming, and we pry into their lives, and we ask them the hard questions so that you can have a better show. That's right, we do it for you because we care. We are super excited to have you here today with us, and we're also pretty thrilled about the guest that we're going to have with us here on the show. Of course, as always, we have to do the obligatory, make sure you like, subscribe, press all the buttons, all the bells, all the thumbs, press them all. And if you want, you can also go to our website and subscribe, and we'll email you and let you know when we're going to be live again. We'll put that link for you in the comments so that you can click it. We are super excited now. Today we have, oh my goodness, I don't even know where to start. One of my favorite people, my most favorite people on the entire planet, here with us as a guest today. You're in for a treat. Super sweet, super kind, and on top of that, incredibly savvy and smart when it comes to creating live streams that really bring engagement. So we're going to learn today from her, and we're going to dig into some of her secrets of how she comes up with the content and puts it all together to create the magic that she has on her show. But enough of me chatting. Let's bring her in. Our guest today is none other than Jennifer Watson. Now, I know you can hear her giggling. That's because she's behind the storm. Because not only does she work with Active Campaign, but she's also spent time with the Weather Channel. And so this was just for her. But before we bring her in for her big entrance, I want to share another entrance of hers that I just really enjoyed.
No. Yes.
Exactly.
And so,
Hey, there she is. If I was smart, instead of just leaving it blank, I could have just been like, oh, let's bring the storm back.
Yeah. This storm is so awesome.
Well, we are super excited to have you here. And it's just good to see you. We haven't really had a chance to chat since we were in Ohio together.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So basically, what you described, Chad, was yourself. You described yourself. When you were introducing me, that is you, Chad, and how smart and brilliant and kind you are, just so you're aware.
Well, I appreciate that, but I'm the one who just started the show with you not even showing up on the camera. So let's scratch the brilliant part.
So you know what? Working at the Weather Channel and quick little fun fact, we partnered with Facebook when I was at the Weather Channel, and we were required to do 120 live videos per month on Facebook, which is, if you calculate it, 4 a day, which is insane, right? Yeah, look at Chad. Chad's like, yes, true facts. We partnered with them. And so we had to do so much live video that we had the internet drop out, the audio wasn't working, you could only imagine the things that would go wrong, especially in live storm coverage. When there's a hurricane coming on shore or something like that. We've had everything possible happen. And the best thing you can do is just be honest about it. And, if you're still live like Chad was, just be, you know what, we're having a few technical difficulties. We're going to get Jen as soon as we can. Or if you drop out, just come back live and just, explain what happened. But yeah, I've seen it all, Chad. I've seen it all.
I love it. We use the phrase here, let's learn together how to live better. And that's I came up with that to make sure it was inclusive so everybody knew I was along for the ride, but also just to kind of give me a crutch. and say, "Oh, you know what? I'm learning too." Um, that's why I made that mistake.
Yeah. That's where we're all learning, right? Together, which I love because, everyone's supporting each other. I mean, that's how you make the magic happen.
So the whole live streaming thing, how did that become such a big part of who you are? Was it the Weather Channel component, or how did you end up where you are now?
So I've always liked live video. I've always liked social media in the way that you build community and connect with one another. And so live video on social was just like so awesome because you got to have that direct connection, right? That feedback instead of doing like just a regular post, with an image or a video. You actually got to go live and have open conversations with people, which I loved. So it really did start with the Weather Channel. We did test out some lives. We were really big into Periscope and Meerkat, if you remember Meerkat back in the day. And then,
Wow.
right, right. And then I believe it was February 2016 when Facebook Live became available to brands. And so Facebook partnered with, I think, a couple dozen celebrities and brands to try and test out Facebook Live, make it a thing, make it a trendy thing, learn what works, what doesn't work. And so the Weather Channel was one of those brands that they were testing a lot of different things with. And so I think that's where my love of it came from because like we were forced to do like 4 a day, forced. And so required for a year. And then we did continue. We weren't, didn't do four every single day, mainly around, winter storms, tornadoes, hurricanes, really big, significant weather events. But we also allowed it for people to get to know on camera meteorologists a little bit better, like Jim Cantori, Stephanie Abrams, all of them, and kind of humanize them just a little bit more. So, but I would say it was that Facebook contract and the Weather Channel that really allowed my passion to just flourish. And then I'm like, we have to go live. Every brand has to go live. Like, this is such an amazing thing. Cisco does an amazing job with their employees, allowing them to go live. So it's just an amazing way to build that connection and community.
Love it. Love it. So Ian Anderson Gray is here. Uh, Throwing in some comments. Thank
Hi.
you for the kind words. I know Ian. Absolutely love that guy. Hopefully we'll see him again soon. It's interesting. I remember
Yeah.
when we were. I can't remember what the conversation was. I think you had gone live from the stage at Social
Yes.
Media Week
Yes.
Lima, and one of the questions I
Hmm.
remember you asking was, you know, something about does everybody love Jim Cantori? Um, and then I remember telling you afterwards, no, no, we don't, because
Oh,
I
yes.
live on the Gulf Coast, and we all know if he shows up in our town, it's over.
This is no, so that's very, very true. And it's so funny? I'm actually good friends with him, obviously working with him for so many years and just being a meteorologist in the weather community. I should have brought him on that live. I should have brought him on this live as a surprise. Next live I do, Chad, we do together. We're going to bring him on. And I've done a couple of Instagram lives on my Instagram account with him. But yeah, we're going to bring him on and we're just going to have the same conversation and see how he feels.
I have no problem telling him from a distance,
Yes, yes. This is true. This is very true.
right? You're not sitting across from me, so I will tell you how I feel. That is hilarious. So, um, now I've seen you do live shows. I've seen you host shows, and obviously you've already got the smile and the charm and the charisma and that personality that everybody's drawn to. But on top of that, you always look smooth. You seem like you're always prepared. How do you pull that off?
Oh my gosh, it's with makeup. Just blotting it around, that professional makeup. No, it's a lot of on-camera training. So I was on TV for 5 years locally, then was a social media specialist at the Weather Channel, and then did lives on their social accounts and do two shows. But you just kind of you're used to it after a while. But for someone that's struggling and they're just like, I don't like seeing myself on camera or on TV or whatever it is, practice, do Instagram stories, make yourself a challenge and do an Instagram story every single day for like 30, 60 days or for an entire year. And you're going to get so used to seeing yourself on camera and also just talking, right? And just feeling comfortable in your own skin, and sharing your expertise. So I highly recommend that for anybody that's just like, oh my gosh, I don't know, just do it. Everybody, even me, before you go live, you realize your body gets in this like, kind of mindset or whatever of like, you got to be on, right? You're going to be live. And so there are a lot of different like speakers before they go on stage, or people before they go live, they have different breathing techniques, right? They take those deep breaths in and just visualize you're going to rock it and just do it. But you don't get here like right off the bat. You got to practice, and you got to understand things aren't going to go perfect, and that's okay. Everybody who's ever been live on TV or on social media or anywhere has, done something, drop the clicker, or, their audio's cut out or something like that. So just take it easy on yourself and understand if something doesn't go right, don't let that just last forever, right? Like ruin
Right.
a good thing, get back on that horse and try it again, and just have a support system around you. One of the best ways you can do also to practice live videos, actually, you can go live on your Facebook profile by doing the settings so only you can see it, or creating a private Facebook group for just you and a couple of your friends where you can test different things and see what it's like to actually press that button, or create like a different Instagram account that you don't befriend any of your friends. It's just you, and you test it out on yourself. There are different ways to test, but sometimes you just got to press the button. And right, that's what happened with Facebook with that contract, is like we were forced into doing lives that much, and so we had to learn quickly and just go with it.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because that was one of my questions, because first you talked about Instagram stories, and I'm like, okay, well, I get that, to see myself on camera, but I can delete
Yeah.
it if I think it's like horrible. And so it's like, okay, live, it's a whole different thing, right? Because now it's like,
Yeah.
my sound's not on, my light's flickering, why is my camera all pixelated? What's going on, right? And so now you're trying to fix things, or you're trying to you're multitasking, you're looking at comments, you're bringing them up on the screen, I know that probably in a lot of situations you've been in, you've had other people helping you, but
Mm-hmm.
there's also times where you have to do that on your own. By the way, guys, just so you know, I was brought up on the screen a minute ago. We are going to be giving away some fun little prizes. Of course, 3 winners are going to get a pack of our new stickers, our new Wave.video stickers. And one of those even includes a sticker of me. I don't know why, but they decided to put that in there. Hat and all, yellow face, very jaundice, but that's okay. The big prize today, though, is 30 minutes of consulting with Jennifer. And Jennifer, before we go into that question I was just bringing up about Instagram versus the live thing and doing it by yourself, what is that 30 minutes?
Yeah.
What are they going to get with you?
Oh, 30 minutes right now, right here.
No. Well, no, when they win their prize.
The prize. Yes, yes. Oh my God. We're going to go through an entire strategy. I'm going to help you map out like spreadsheet and everything, an entire live show, what that looks like for you, your brand, your company, whatever it is, whatever you're struggling with, we're going to map out those guidelines to success. So you're literally going to have a roadmap laid out and detailed of exactly how to create a successful live show. It's going to be amazing.
Wow. We may have to rig this one, and people behind the scenes, just go ahead and let me win that one. Obviously,
Chad,
I need it.
we can have a one-on-one too. We can make it happen. We can make it work. Yes, yes, we can have.
Awesome. But I was saying is I'm glad you brought up the fact that you can also set up these private lives, so you can kind of have
Yes.
that experience, because that is a whole different ballgame.
It is. There's something different about actually pressing that live button because it's just like, oh my God, what is it gonna, be like when I go live? And will I know how to end the live? Like that's a big question too sometimes. And so it's just getting that out of the way and just kind of knowing in advance, okay, this is what's gonna happen. It's like when you take your kids to school before school, the first day of school, you get to see the teacher, the classroom, that sort of a thing. It kind of eases you in and calms your nerves. And so that's a really good practice to do, is just to go live, test out the different features, because there's so much you can do on Instagram, Facebook, all the different things. So test things out and get comfortable. That's what, like, one of my biggest recommendations, and just enjoy doing it. If you're not having fun, the people watching probably aren't having fun. So the best thing you can do is just enjoy yourself, be confident in what you know and the value you're going to bring.
Love it. And everyone, if you're not 100% sold, Jennifer loves fun. We actually had a fun little moment together ourselves that I really enjoyed.
Oh my gosh, yes, this was amazing. Oh my God, this surprise, you guys, I was in shock because they do this. Chad, you guys surprise like it, a random person for each like conference. And I was not expecting it. Like, not. I was like expecting someone else there. And I was like, oh my gosh. And the funny thing is, like, you're watching everyone around you react. They're just like, so what's happening here? Are we on a TV show? Like, what's going on? And it was just like, it was so awesome. And now every time, I travel, I expect this and then I don't see it and I get disappointed. Like I'm at baggage claim. I'm like, where is he? Where are they? I don't know where they are.
Oh, that's
It's
funny. That
devastating,
was
but it was so amazing.
that was a fun one. Those, if you can't tell, I'm dressed full rain gear, blown out umbrella, and then the green poster board behind me was supposed to be the the symbolic green screen of
You did
the
it
weather
very well.
person. That was a lot
I
of
have my
fun.
green screen like right over here.
Well, good. We can get a forecast later on. But I tell you, one of the things we
Mhm.
do want to know is how do you determine what content to use each episode? Where do you find it? How do you to come up with those pieces?
So, first of all, whether it's like your personal brand or your company, like if you're doing this for a company, you have to make sure you understand what the company's goals are. Usually, each company has like three main hierarching goals, and you want to try and make sure that your lives funnel up to that, right? And understand how you're going to measure success. This is for anything, whether it's live video, whether it's a social media strategy, or anything else. How are you going to measure success? So understand your goals, how you're going to measure success, and then understand what kind of value you want to bring. I think the best lives are educational lives where they share some tips and information. So create a spreadsheet and map it out and understand, okay, what topics can we cover? And that'll help you determine, are we going to have a weekly live show, a bi-weekly live show, or a monthly live show? No matter what you want to do, you want it to be consistent. Us as humans, we are creatures of habit. And so you want to educate your audience that you need to go live, or we're going to go live every Tuesday at 2 o'clock every week, And so we understand to expect that, because you've never seen a TV show back in the 90s, let's say, before you could like get things on demand. They never released like, a show or an episode at random times during the day. It was like Monday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, every single week. So you want to have your audience learn, okay, this is when they're going to go live. And when it comes to testing, you want to make sure you give yourself like 6 to 8 weeks worth of testing when it comes to testing lives. But first of all, you want to have those goals. You want to know how you're going to measure your success. You want to write down and kind of have a spreadsheet of the value you're going to bring, educational tips, understand what kind of consistency, like when you're going to go live. And also determine, are you going to do an interview style live, or are you just going to go live yourself, or have someone from the company you work for go live with you? Understand that. Another quick thing, really quick, Chad, is having somebody like monitoring the comments and driving that conversation is so important too. So just like Kate's doing right now, having someone do that helps bump you up in the algorithm, right? And realizes, like, tells Instagram, tells Facebook, wow, people are really engaged in this live. Let's promote that and allow more people to see this live so they can join in. So having someone to help out with community, and also having kind of a callback at the end, like driving people somewhere. Where are you going to drive people to? Kind of, you need that overarching outline so you can kind of get into the nitty gritty. But that consistency is key, providing that value is key, and just understanding how you're going to measure success is so important so you can have a successful live show.
Love that. And by the way, Kate is behind the scenes, but shout out to Mary, who is actually our superstar producer who's working on
Oh,
all the comments and doing all this for us. So, and she's
oh my
just,
God, I'm so sorry, Mary. Mary, you're
that's
doing
okay.
amazing, by the way.
She's so behind the scenes you don't even see her. So, but
This is a true
she's
fact.
awesome. And she even fixed her hair earlier for the occasion. Like she's set up, she's ready to go. So, you know, I love it. That's a great little team to be a part of. It's funny you mentioned about the being consistent, right? And how the TV shows they would
Yes.
come on at the exact same time back in the day. Um,
Hmm.
and on the flip side, how frustrating it can be for somebody who is expecting something. Because, for example, if the president was speaking, right?
Yeah.
And then it was, okay, well, are they going to bump the show back, or are they going to just starting the show right in the middle of it? Am I going to miss the whole part of the show? What's going on? You just threw off my whole evening because, like you said, we're creatures of habit. So I just
Yes. Yeah.
flashbacks.
Oh my gosh. And really quick in the newsroom, when I worked in local TV, we would be waiting, like if a golf championship was going over or a football game, if it went over like 22 minutes into like the half hour, the network would take over, not the local TV. We wouldn't have to fill in the news. So we were always like watching the clock. We're like, are we going to have to fill 9 minutes of news, or is network going to take over? So that was always interesting. But Chad, one tip I want to bring up really quick is boosting your lives. That's something that can help add value, get you more awareness, and get more views. And something that I learned when I was doing this, when I was at Agorapulse, was that you can't boost, like if you're on Facebook, you can't boost a live while you're watching on desktop, but you can on your phone. So what I would do is, like, I would do an interview show. I had actually an interview show when I was at Agorapulse. I would ask, like, my first question would be like really long, so they take like 2 minutes to answer. And what you wouldn't see is I would pull them full screen, so you couldn't see me behind the scenes, and I would have like my audience already created, and I would boost the post during their first answer to the question. And not always, like Facebook, it takes some time obviously to
Right.
get that approved. So majority of the time, likely it didn't get approved during the live, but there were a couple of times where I was just like, we're getting a big boost. What's happening here? And I'm like, I think we got approved by Facebook. So it's a
That's
quick little tip,
awesome.
but yeah, playing around with money, and it doesn't have to be a lot. I tested $50 to $200 just to see, what kind of audience we got and viewership we got. And it can be even smaller than that. But what the Facebook or Instagram, what they will see is they're like, okay, you were getting a little bit of money. We're going to boost you up even higher. And sometimes it's worth it in the beginning to get those eyes, and the viewership and people to get, awareness of your brand.
Love it. By the way, guys, if you have any questions for Jennifer, shoot them at us here in the comments. We'd love to take advantage of her while we've got her, because I tell you what, she is tops. Jennifer, when you're getting ready for a show, and you've
Yeah.
got all your little goals and all your different pieces, whatever, together, now it's time to plan the episode. Do you have a routine that you use? What's your process of now saying, okay, here's what I want to do, here's the content I want to include?
Okay. Whether it's an interview show or not, you want to have a run of show document. And what that run of show document will have is what you like want to lead in with. If you have a sponsor you need to mention, make sure you have that up there. You introduce yourself, whatever that is. If you're giving, some social media news or any kind of tidbits, but kind of have like an outline of how the show is going to go. And it's important for your confidence too. So during the show, like you can have it on a different tab, you can reference it, or you can print it out and have it down right to your like right hand side, right on your desk or whatever that is. So you understand, okay, what was that next question? I can't believe I completely forgot. Oh, wait, it's right here. So, and also having that run of show to give to your guest so they are fully aware of, okay, this is how the show is going to go. And so they are confident. And one thing I like to do if I do have a guest and have them on about 10 to 15 minutes ahead of time to make sure technology and everything is working is boosting up their confidence, getting them excited for it because it's supposed to be fun. If you're not having fun, then the people who are viewing it aren't having fun. But that run of show is so important, Chad. And another thing is you may want to start off the show with like a consistent line, where opening line, but then you want to make sure you also vary it up, and have a couple variations of introducing yourself or the brand or the company so it doesn't get stale or stagnant. And, it gets a little bit more exciting, or you can even switch around the show a little bit, but making sure you have that outline just in case like something else goes wrong or things are weird and you start to get stressed and you're just like, your mind kind of wanders and you're like, oh my gosh, you at least have that right there, that safety to go back to.
Have you ever been on a show interviewing somebody that maybe they talked for a while and like your brain did kind of go away and you're like, oh shoot, I don't know that I heard everything they just said.
Oh my gosh. So I always said this for my interview shows is you can take as long as you want to answer. We did not have like a hard stop at all. And so I had a couple guests go like 10 minutes long on one answer and I was really enthralled with it. I was just like, wow, to the point I was like, oh my God, wait, what was like they stopped talking and I was so into it that I forgot the next question. But like you said, sometimes like I would get pinged, like I would silence my phone, but see like pings from work, like on Slack, be like, oh, what is this about? What's going on? And then I like completely forgot or wasn't paying attention. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. Great point. And then I move on to the next question. I mean, it
And
happens to
they're like they
everyone.
just said, my grandmother died last week. And you're like, that's a great point that you bring up.
Exactly. No, so like the best thing you can do is seriously turn off your phone, flip your phone over, turn off notifications on your computer if you can. But obviously, there's life happening around you, and it can be distracting. And honestly, 2 years ago, right around this time, like I got some very scary news about my dad right before I was supposed to go live. And
Oh no.
so, I've had some not so good situations happen, even live on TV, right? And so you just learn how to compose yourself, compartmentalize it, get through what you need to get through, and then, do what you need to do. But yeah, it can be tricky sometimes, but just maintaining that focus, and just during a live, ask a question at the beginning, get people excited in the beginning, and then re-ask a question at the middle, and then at the end, do a poll, do giveaways, all those fun things to make it exciting and entertaining.
Someone was asking back about the Facebook boost part. How long does the show
Yeah.
need to be for them to have a shot at possibly getting approved?
Oh, that's a great question. So obviously the longer the better. I recommend for any live video. So this is without boosting in general. If you can't talk about something for more than like 7 to 10 minutes, you shouldn't do live. You should create a couple different video segments, create like a mini series. I think recommend going live at least 20 to 30 minutes. My show, when I was boosting it like that, we would go at least 60 minutes, an hour, if
Mm.
not longer. And I only recommend going like you can have a set 30, 45-minute show. But if you start to see like the audience drop off or whatever, then try and wrap it up. But a lot of times we would go over an hour because the conversation was so great. People were so engaged that I didn't have another meeting planned. I'm like, let's just keep this train going. And the longer you're live, the better it is. So why not? And more people can join. And so it was those longer lives where it was like 60 minutes or more where I saw that boost. I'm like, we're just going to stay here for another 30 minutes and see what happens. And usually you want to prep the guests ahead of time. Do you have a hard stop? And
Gotcha.
usually our guests were so awesome and enjoyed being there with us that we could just probably go on for a couple hours. And when I did have my boss was my producer for, I would say the first year. And then I took over just doing it all. But he'd be like, Jen, he's like, we got to cut this now. I have a meeting. I was just like, okay. But yeah, it
Wow.
was it was so much fun.
What about engagement? What are some things that you do to encourage engagement from people that are watching the show?
So engagement is so important. One thing you can do even before the show starts is ask like a poll on Twitter and say, hey, we're going to answer this question during our show, or we're going to show this during our show. We would love your responses now. And then even at the beginning of the show, I usually would be like, let us know who you are, where you're watching us from, and something that you're excited about this week that you accomplished. I like celebrating people, and who doesn't like to be celebrated, right? And hear their name. So like you see on there, you scroll through the comments and you're just like, oh my gosh, we've got Steven here from Maryland and he just finished this course or whatever. Congratulations. And calling each individual person out is fantastic. And also, I would always say this too during my lives. I would ask the person I was interviewing a question, but I would also say, also, please answer this in the comments if you're watching. And we would have such a great conversation flow. And we pulled their comments up on the air. So they felt like they were a part of the show, which they were, which is what I wanted. We were a collective community. It was never them watching us and being flies on a wall. It was, we're in this together and we're having fun. And so it was really successful in that sense. And also we would give away a t-shirt and a mug at the end of the show, and do some fun trivia. So to try and keep people watching the entire length of the show, but just getting them involved and excited at the beginning of it. And then even kind of doing a reset during the middle, being like, hey, for those who are just joining us, we're talking to so-and-so about this topic. We've had such great conversations so far. We hope you join us. Encourage people to join you. Make them excited to be a part of that conversation.
Love it. I have one more thing of you that I had got from Lima. Well, I've got lots of things from Lima, but I'm regretting now not setting up and flipping it, because I think it would be beautiful to point at comments when they're up on the screen. I don't even know what you call this particular dance move, but
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. You guys have to be careful with Chad, because if you are in the same room as him, you just never know what he's capturing. And I'm not sure exactly what I was pointing at, but I almost had like a ballet move there. It was like an arabesque. Thank you. I'm glad it was graceful. But yes, no, the comments and everything, you want it to make it a fun show, but a structure. You always want to be organized, have structure. And if you are having an interview show, get guests out at least like 2 to 3 months in advance, so you can get images made. You don't feel rushed. You give them enough time for promotion as well.
Love it. Love it. So when you're looking at your show and you're not sure if things are going the way they really should be, how do you know if it's the content that's the problem?
Ooh, that's a great question. So if you've had a live show going on, maybe it's like 6 months, you want to give it some breathing room, right? I would say if you're doing a weekly live show, you want to give it at least like 2 months. If it's like a monthly live show, you want to give it 3 or 4, so you can actually have like 3 or 4 shows of it. But looking at the viewership and looking at the trend, has it been a gradual decrease? Was there a spike, right? Where like one show, people were really engaged. People loved it. We got a lot of viewers. What was that content about? What was that topic? Or was there a question or a topic brought up during live that people really commented around? But looking at the engagement, looking at the viewership during like all the live shows that you've done so far, seeing if you see any trends, and then understanding, okay, so what we're doing isn't working. And if it's just you and you're not doing an interview show, hey, maybe we bring in someone to interview, right? It may be an influencer, and we work on getting more engagement where we have them also, like we set it up so the live goes out on their social channels as well. We get them sharing it out. Understanding if it's the content, though, is if people are excited about talking about it. And you'll know during your live if people are excited about it. If like the conversation is flat and, viewers are dropping off quickly and, they're just not engaged, you'll understand that content isn't working. But if the show overall isn't working, it's maybe promotion, right? Like, how are you promoting it? Where are you promoting it? Is it a weekly or monthly newsletter? Are you promoting it on the social channels in the right way? Maybe you can try something different. Are you cutting up, like downloading the live show and editing different pieces out, so you're putting them on social after the fact and promoting it that way? Understanding the promotion and also the content and the trends that you're seeing is important. It's hard to pinpoint if it's exactly content until you kind of look at everything holistically and see what overarching is going on. And sometimes you may need to switch the day and the time that you're going live. Maybe that's not the best day or time. We would go live at Agora Pulse because we had another live show on Wednesdays. So our second one was on Fridays at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, which was good. We actually did get some people that were just like, they wanted the weekend to start, so they're like, we're gonna watch the live show while we're finishing up work for the weekend. But also on some, like before some holiday weekends, we didn't have as many viewers because people took the day off, which we understand. So just understanding the day and time, and even before you set a consistent schedule for your live, maybe test out a couple different times. Maybe do like 3 different lives on 3 different days at 3 different times, promote it, but just, kind of as a test, not as a show. Just, hey, we're going live today to talk about this, and see how many viewers you get, the engagement, and kind of learn from there what works best.
Gotcha. So we all love tools. We all have things to make life a little easier.
Mm-hmm.
We've got all of this information now from you, all the tips and tricks to get our content, get the right content, the right times, to get the audience, to engage them. What are your favorite tools, though, that you use to make the live streaming just a little easier?
Oh my gosh, like Wave.video perhaps. Yes, definitely. Um, No, but you definitely want Wave.video or platform to make it easy to see the questions, the comments. You need something like that. So definitely invest in it. I used to be such a stickler. Like, to be honest, Chad, I'm like, I'm not investing in myself. I'm not investing in my business. Like, I'm just going to go cheap, cheap, cheap. Well, you actually have to pay money to get results for some things. And even Wave.video is so inexpensive. So stop being a stickler, and nickel and diming things. What you want is something like Wave.video, and also just a spreadsheet for metric tracking. If we're thinking of like a whole entire marketing stack, tech stack, I mean, you would use like Slack, which we use in our business, Asana. But for live video, especially, you want to invest in something like Wave.video. You want to invest in a good mic. I have a Yeti right here. Lighting is so important. I had no idea how important audio and lighting is until I got into live video. But those are the main things. You want to make sure that the visual appearance is great, right? With the
Oh,
lighting,
definitely.
the audio is great, and also you have a tool that makes it easy to use and easy if you're doing interviews, but just to pop up comments, to ask questions, to engage with the community and the viewers. You want a tool like that. That's the most important thing I can say. And a good camera too. I have a Logitech Brio right here that I use. I also have I've got a Canon, like you can use a regular Canon, use that as a video, a couple of other things, but invest in the technology and the equipment to really make it shine. But when it comes down to it, what you really need to go live is just your phone. All you need is a phone. So if you're just like, I don't have the money, I just don't have it, there's no excuses. You can use your phone,
Nope.
just put it on a couple books, stack those books up. But if you can at least get something like Wave.video, some kind of live video platform that you can make it easy and you can go live on multiple places at the same time, which is so critical.
Absolutely, I agree. And what you said too about like you're using a Brio, right? You're not using the
Yeah.
fancy mirrorless. Right now I am
Yeah.
using an old DSLR, but I've gone live in studio with phones. I've done 3 camera live studio shows with phones. So guys, you don't have to have the fancy schmancy. We're actually going to have Brian G. Johnson on in a few weeks
Nice.
to talk cameras. Um,
Oh, I love
he,
that. It's so
oh
awesome.
yeah,
And really quick, Chad, I have a fun story. So when I was at the Weather Channel, we were on the National Hurricane Tour, and we were actually at an airport outside interviewing people because that's where they were doing it apparently. And you had these big, airplane engines that were so huge, like roaring, right? Because I mean, we're at an airport. They were taking off, they were landing. And so I tested out, we had social media kits. And so I tested out our Rode mic. I had lav mics, what worked best was actually the audio on the iPhone itself. I tested
Wow.
out, like, I did a couple different videos and I was surprised. I was like, holy crap. I'm like, we don't need this other equipment. We just need our phone. So just a little tip right there.
Yeah, I agree completely. We can paralyze ourselves by thinking we have to
Hmm.
have all of these different pieces, and people are always showing, oh, the unboxing. I've got this, and I've got this, and I've got this, and some of the best shows out there don't have all of that. What they have is you, right?
Yes.
Um,
Yes. This
and
is
by
true.
you, I
This
don't
is
just
very
mean Jennifer. I mean all of you,
true.
right? You're the
Yes.
best part of your show, not your camera.
Hmm.
And in our case,
Yes.
Jennifer's the best part of our show, not the
No, no,
camera.
no. I know what exactly you were saying, Chad. You bring your energy, like you bring that. And if you are going to have more energy by standing, I used to stand, I'm sitting right now, but I used to stand during my lives until like I kind of hurt my back a little bit. But I would stand because I have that energy, right? And I'm just like, you want to get excited, you want to pump everyone up. So that's another little tidbit too.
I love it. Love it. Hey, we did want to show you one thing from Wave. We'll bring that up here for you.
Yeah.
It's our
Ooh,
little wide.
fancy.
No, now fancy. We get
It is
around, but
fancy. You do.
um, making the show look good. There are tools and things, and Wave actually you've mentioned is one of those great tools. And we just wanted to share this with all of you because if you're looking for ways to up the game a little bit and do it in a way that's not so difficult, here at Wave.video we have some incredible templates that you can use. There we go.
I
So you
want
can find
that.
those. I know, right? There's so many, and plus they're customizable, and there's a wide variety. So the link will be shared there in the comments. Jennifer, what is it? What was a moment when you were live streaming that maybe impacted you the most? Was there a moment or something that happened or a story that was shared where like you're just like, wow?
That's a great question. So I would say there's probably two. One where I was doing an interview, and the person I interviewed shared a story that they hadn't shared anywhere else. They had actually just released a book to the point that they were crying on camera, and like they brought me to tears. I think they brought everyone else to tears in the comments. And I was just like, oh my, I wasn't expecting that. And so, like, kind of like, calming myself down and just like pulling everything back together. It was incredible to see. And then also going live, we would get special access at the Weather Channel because we were media before a hurricane. And
Mm.
so we had Mike Bettis do a Facebook Live trying to prep people for the storm, and just like the eeriness of it all, the wind, the rain, like it's just, you knew something was happening. And it was before Hurricane Irma made landfall, which was absolutely devastating. But a lot of those lives where you're just like, when it came to the Weather Channel, we were trying to save people's lives. Like it was critical information, right? Like tornado warnings, hurricane warnings. And so I remember just that moment, like getting chills of like, we're trying to save people's lives here. And, we're doing everything that we can. So those are kind of two of the most powerful moments. And one of the most important things is you never know who is watching. Even if it's like 5 people watching your live, it could be someone that's a big deal. Like, don't take it as, oh, I don't have like 100 people watching me, nobody cares, I don't bring any value. You bring value. You're an influencer to your friends, to your family, to everyone. Everyone has their own experiences, and their own education. So you have value. No matter what it is, you have value, and you should share it with the world. And so hopefully you use live video to do that.
I love that. I love that. We talk about the mistakes and the oopses and the things that happen because those are going to happen. But it's when you go live, the other unexpecteds that can happen are things like Jennifer just mentioned, those stories that you didn't see coming, and those moments where you just connect with people in a way you didn't know you were going to connect with them, and they're incredibly special. Jennifer, let's give some stuff away. All right. Another fun little layout.
I like that layout.
All right.
I love it. I feel like my
so let's announce our winners. Here's who we've got. All three of you are going to get a pack of our awesome stickers, which, if I believe I already mentioned, includes a sticker of my face. You're welcome.
I want one, Chad. I want one.
So we've got stickers going to Ian Anderson Gray and Venice Robbins, two incredible people, by the way, I'm privileged to know. And our grand prize, which includes stickers, but also a half hour with the incredible woman sitting here with me today, Jennifer, that goes to Tamira Wilson. So awesome. Yay! Celebration,
So
celebration.
awesome. Yay!
Graffiti. Whee! Okay. Oh, super excited. Guys, if you would message us and let us know the best way to get in touch with you. I've still got the graffiti playing. Oops.
Yes.
There we go. See, those are those moments where you.
I see Ian. Ian says a Chad sticker is my dream come true. True facts.
Well, Ian, we will see. If I notice it in an incredibly, prominent spot, then I will know how much it meant to you. So, like on your headboard.
I was just thinking that.
Great minds. Great minds. Think alike. I'll say that to my wife sometimes when something happens. I'm like, well, great minds think alike. And she goes, and dogs never differ. I don't even know exactly what that means, but it feels like a dick.
It does. It does. I'm not sure what that means either. Yeah.
Jennifer, what a privilege to have you here with us. You make people smile. I mean, I know you make me smile, and so you're just a positive energy in the world, and I know that whether it's live or in person or heck, just somebody walking by, I know that your smile brightens the world. So thank you so much for being here with us.
Again, I feel like you described yourself, Chad. You totally described yourself. But Chad, no, thank you so much. And thanks for inviting me on the show. Thanks for having me be here. It's just been so amazing. And for anybody out there that needs any assistance, has questions or anything, feel free. The best way to reach out to me is on Instagram at Jennifer Weather, JENNIFER Weather, WEATHER, if I can spell weather. Jennifer Weather on Instagram. Twitter is at JWatson_WX. Somebody else has Jennifer Weather, and they don't even post on Twitter, and they still have it.
Get me started
so
with the story catcher.
Oh my God. Yes. Oh my God. It's very frustrating. According to Instagram, even if they log in and they don't even post or anything like that, they're still considered an active user, and you can't have the name. There are some ways, I've gotten names before and for companies in the past, but yeah, Jennifer Weather, they're still logging in. But yeah, so if anybody needs anything, please let me know. We can geek out about weather and also live video, social media, my two loves.
Guys, follow her on Instagram, and even if it's not for business, just follow her because she's Jennifer. A lot of people, you go and follow them, and then you get their Instagram, and it's all these it's obvious, just motivational, promotional, blah, blah, blah. Here's my business, blah, blah, blah. Jennifer shares Jennifer, and it's just cool, right? She shares who she is, just her story, her life, and so it's a refreshing in our industry. So make sure you do that. Jennifer Weather on Instagram. That's where I'd go because she's fun to follow. Jennifer, thank you so much, and thank you to everyone else for being here with us. Next week, Jennifer, you'll like this. We've got
Yeah.
Mike Alton.
That's my boss, guys. That's my boss. My old boss. My old boss. My old boss. My old boss. Sorry.
That's right. Mike Alton of Agora Pulse. We're going to be talking about funnels. Not the cakes, unfortunately, but the sales funnels. So we're excited to do that. But he's next week. Jennifer's now. We're grateful you were here. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Everyone, we'll see you next week. Make sure you tune in, and let's learn together how to live better.